Testing, testing, testing. All right, go. Welcome to how to paint bad and do other bad things as well. Or wait, I think it's how to paint bad and do other things bad also. Yeah, how to paint bad and do other things bad also. So the idea here is I don't know how to paint. I'm a novice. I'm not that good. I've done a little bit of practicing. Sometimes my paintings look okay. Sometimes they don't look okay. But you're going to watch me grow as a painter over the course of several years. So we'll be able to look back at what I've done and see if I've actually improved or not. So if you ever see me do anything wrong, if you ever see me say something wrong or something incorrect, correct me in the comments. I want everyone to correct me. This is going to be a community effort where you all help me learn. Aside from that, it would be really cool if people asked me just random questions, any question about your life that you want bad advice for. And I will give very bad advice. Like, in fact, I will give the worst advice that I can think of. It might be evil, it might be malicious, but that's the kind of advice that I give on how to paint bad and do other bad things too. Or how to paint bad and do other bad things also. Okay, so kind of about me. I've been, I'm not able to see images. I have what's called aphantasia, so I can't see images in my head. So I really can't take what I see in my head and put it on paper because that image doesn't really exist. But I can kind of plan things out. I could be like, oh, I kind of want a tree here, and I want the horizon here, and the sun here. I can do stuff like that, but I'm really going to be trying to use methods that don't require me to see an image. So I'm going to be basing everything kind of that I do off of rules and principles. And, try to create different techniques or styles of creating cool art. So this will be interesting. Ask me a question about aphantasia. And I'll pick some of the questions that are in the comments and I'll answer them in my next video. So I'm doing watercolor here. So what I learned is first step of watercolor. Get the paper wet, but I don't want to get it too wet. So we'll get it wet. And one of the things that happens is this paper will start buckling, but I'm hoping that this block that I'm on is going to help that issue out. So I got a hair over there. Okay, so we're wet. And we're not too wet, but I'll add just a tiny bit more here in the center and really try to spread it out evenly. Okay. So I'm going to start off with a sky. All right. So to start this off, here's my palette. It might be out of focus. I'm going to add some water in there. Then I'm going to grab some of this blue, cobalt blue. Okay, and then I also kind of want like a warmer color also. So I'm going to take some of this yellow ochre, I believe. And then we'll also pull in some of that blue for a warmer color, like as we move towards the horizon. And this is a little grayer, kind of desaturated. Okay. Wash off the brush. Make sure there's not too much water on it because we already have water on the paper. And this is pulling up a lot, so we'll see what this ends up looking like. So just very light. I think I want something stronger than that. I'm just gonna add a little more water. Let's grab that blue. We'll mix it. So the watercolor, you kind of got to move fast because everything depends on that drying time. Okay. And we're just kind of going fast here. Okay. Oh man, I should have added some of that cooler color towards the bottom, so I'm going to grab that cooler color. I'm going to put it in here. There we go. And this is going to make, there's going to be some kind of landscape here. We can see that now. Okay. So I think we got a little bit of a sky. Maybe these are clouds. Let's make it a little darker on the top while we still can. And then as you move up, okay, one more of this. We want that to mix. All right, but I don't want to overwork it either. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Okay. So now it's time. I think I want to dry off a little bit for the landscape, and there's some pooling here. I also got these, so I'm going to try to pull them out. So when I pull these hairs out, it's actually removing some of that water and creating these cloud-looking things. Ah, they're everywhere. I should have been a little careful with that brush. But you know, now it seems like we have some more clouds. Some wispy kind of clouds here. Who knows what these will end up turning to. As you move closer to the horizon, usually the wisps get a little smaller. And then they'll end up getting darker. And then as we move closer to the subject, they get bigger. Oh, right. We'll see what happens here. It's kind of weird, but this is painting bad and how to do other bad things also. I'm just getting a paper towel because I want to dry off that brush that I just used, and I lost it. Oh, here it is. I'm just drying it off a little. Cool. So I think we're good to do the land here, and I think I want to use this brush. So the land, what is it going to be? Well, it's going to be kind of blue at first. For the mountains in the back. So let's say we've got these mountains here. Okay, and then in front of those mountains, we're going to get a little more green. Brush a little more to pull out that green. It's got to be a blue green because when things are further away, they get blue. Or they start matching whatever's in their background. So kind of got this little okay. So there's that. And then let's grab a little bit of ochre. Let's mix it into a stronger green. And let's kind of put it here. Maybe this is a little river that goes to a lake. I'm going to mix some of this up here. And what would be cool is if it seemed like this was all coming towards us somehow. And these mountains are like way too big. I'm noticing that now. Okay, so let me take that original mountain. Well, okay, this first color. I'm just making a new color. I'm not really thinking too hard about it. And let's bring it up here. And it'll look like this color is also, moving into the distance. Oops, I went over our river. Okay. Swiping the brush, and we're going to pull in more green, but I want to mix it with some umber. I think it's burnt umber. This color is pretty hard to pull. And I don't know, a little Payne's gray. So as we get a little closer, things get darker. Usually contrast increases too. So see what happens here. This river doesn't really look so much like a river. So I think I'll just like that. And how's this looking? I'm not crazy about it. Maybe because there's no like shadows. No shadows. Yeah, maybe I can create some kind of tree-looking things off in the distance. But they're usually pretty light colored. Let's see. What's that gonna look like? I want this to be pretty green here. Okay. Okay, and then no clue what this is going to end up looking like. But I do want some kind of trees over here. You know, maybe these are things we'll be able to fix later. Just how to make this look like it's actually going off in the distance somehow. Maybe we have some kind of trail. And trails usually kind of snake. Okay, so what did I do here? So created this little trail. I got these weird trees now. So what are these leaves going to look like? Let's see if I can scratch anything in this. Okay, well, we got a little branch there. Just make some more trees. We'll see what this ends up looking like. So the problem with this, I think, is composition. You know, where does the eye go? I don't know. But, okay, I'm going to grab some colors. We'll see what this looks like. It's pretty heavy color, but let's go back to it. So trees are pretty random. I'm using a dry brush here to kind of create these see, I don't want it to be too wet because I make these marks. So you get it looking like that. We'll see if we can kind of get this to look like trees. So further in the picture, these are going to be these should be lighter, and I made them darker. Yeah, and they should also be softer, so maybe I need some little bit of water. Okay. What is going on here? That's in the distance. Just a little closer. So I do want these to not be as defined as what we have over here. Trees be crazy. I don't know, I'm trying to kind of make a little... See back here, it's like... I mean, sometimes you kind of gotta step back a little bit and see what's going on. So I'm gonna step back, see what this looks like. Okay, so definitely done worse in my day. Something doesn't quite seem right here. And it's just kind of these like shifts that don't really seem natural. So I'm wondering what I can do in this area. And the tree is kind of, these are okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if this actually looks good, but wish I had something a little smaller to make these. I want to kind of give the impression that these go all the way up. Random bush right in the middle, which doesn't completely make sense. Still wet. So, what can I do? You know, I heard someone say once that you should not put stuff on damp paper. You should not put wet paint on damp paper. And yeah, I mean, he might be right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dry this off a little bit and see what we can do here and here. I want to make the sky a little more interesting. I want to make this area a little more interesting. We can always add some more shadows here. You know, maybe that's what I'll do first. I'm going to try to add a few more shadows to this. Yeah. So I'm mixing Payne's gray with green, and just go ahead and make these a little darker. I don't think the paint's really gonna it's not gonna spread and look cool. Usually should probably have a shadow going across here. Sometimes I see painters do that. They'll have a shadow here, it'll get lighter here, and then maybe like another shadow cast. Add some shadow there, you know, some just random. Not too much. Oh, it's actually spreading. That's interesting. So it was wet enough so that the paint still spread. Okay. And it's kind of looking, kind of starting to look decent. I'm really trying to get a, you know, some kind of three-dimensional aspect to this. I think trees are usually darker on the bottom, like there's more shadow on the bottom. Sun, not too sure where the sun is. Wish I had I had a spray bottle. Just gonna see if we can kind of make the shadows. Huh, that's kind of cool. So I guess we're making little grasses now. This grass is good. Hopefully I'm not overdoing it. I tend to overdo it, I guess. That's one of my mistakes, is I keep going sometimes and I don't stop. Don't know when to stop. Okay. Give this a second. So remember, once again, anything that I do wrong, tell me. I want to learn from you. If you got an idea or a technique, you know, tell me. If you know, you see me doing something wrong, just let me know. If also, if you got any random question, you want horrible advice, let me know. I'll give you the worst advice I can think of, and that's kind of the idea. While I show you how I'm painting bad, while I'm learning, I'll also answer your questions in the worst possible way. So let's go ahead and fill this. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit more before we go over this, and I'm going to add another glaze on it. But while this is drying, actually, here, let me make sure that my video. Okay, here we go. So I didn't make you guys listen to me using the hair dryer. I put it on low setting for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And before that, I even took a bit of a break and hung out with my cat, Georgie. She's pretty cool. She jumped on my lap and I pet her and she purred. It was awesome. Not life-changing, but, you know, it was awesome. So, some of this I'm kind of liking right now. It almost looks like there's a path here. You could see that kind of cooler blue color moving this way. And that separates into this warmer, almost like a grassy type of area here, that yellow. I don't know how I feel about these grasses that I threw up. Guess they're okay. We have 2 trees here, 1 tree here, and these are actually okay. I've never done a deciduous tree. I'm not sure if these are deciduous. Maybe they look like alpines. And back here, it almost looks like we have some kind of bushes. It doesn't really seem like trees to me because they're too short. So here's a cool trick. I'd say the horizon is about right there, right where the mountain starts. So when you're standing, anything that's above the horizon is above your head. So these mountains, they're taller than whoever's looking at this scene. These trees, they're way above the horizon. And these trees, you know, since they're close and high, they're taller than you. So these trees all seem like they're taller than you. Over here, though, a lot of these bushes, they barely make it up to the horizon. So that means that, they're barely taller than you. Over here, barely taller than you. Over here, that's going to be shorter than you. So maybe that's actually a trick I could use. I can understand how tall things are based off of how it's related to the horizon. So if I wanted to make a tree way off over here, I would need to make it above the horizon to show that it's actually taller than me. And it would help whoever's viewing it register that that object is taller than me. So I guess the horizon is a trick. I heard it somewhere and it seems true to me because this definitely seems shorter than the viewer. Up here, this kind of tree, that seems right. That almost seems right to me. Like that looks like a tree that's far off in the distance and taller than me. I'll probably keep these bushes, you know, keep the trees. Sometimes it's really hard to work over what you've done before in watercolor, and you just have to deal with what you did most of the time. But I guess this is looking okay. What I'm going to try to do, there's a good chance that I'm really going to mess this up. But I'm going to try to change the sky a bit. I want to darken it, make it a little more interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of glaze over it. Maybe not quite glaze because I'm going to be, I suppose. I'm going to put re-wet the sky over here, and I'm going to darken it and add some color to see what happens. I'm wondering if I can change up these mountains too. Like those mountains can be a lot cooler. Okay, I'll put the water down here too, and I'll mess with those mountains and see what happens, and I'll let it mix in. So, okay, grabbing my hake brush, washing it, putting water in it, and I'm just gonna wet it. I don't want to overdo it, so I'm wetting that. Kind of wetting over here, down through there a little, and over here. Let's feel it. Yeah, feels pretty good. I think I want a tiny bit more, but not too much. Actually, it's pooling right there already. So I think I'm fine. I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to take my smaller hake Actually, it would be kind of fun to do. Skies are usually better with bigger brushes. So let's see what I can do. And take some Payne's Gray. Maybe that's what I'll do here. So we'll start off with the Payne's Gray up here at the top to keep things nice and dark. Whoops. So before that soaks in, let's make it part of the painting. Okay. Okay, I guess that's fine. This is probably going to do some interesting stuff. Okay, cleaning my brush. And what do I want in here? I want some kind of a brighter color. So let's take some yellow, mix it in with that Payne's Gray. Just a tiny bit of red. Like, red is so strong. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to mix this color in. I don't want to overdo it with the colors. Let's put a little bit of, tiny bit of ochre. And the red. Right there. And maybe there. Okay. I want a little more down here. So I'm just kind of barely touching it. It's going to go down. Okay. I'm going to try the mountain. The mountain, though, different brush. So this mountain, what is it? It's going to be closer to us. It's going to be a bit bigger. So let's take it, let's start mixing. Let's see. Need more water. More water. Okay. Alright, so getting this good blue here. Let's add some of the colors from our painting. Oh, messed it up. Now it's purple. Take some more. And the red. Red is so strong. Okay. Still trying to wet it a little more. Very strong color. Let's bring it towards the blue. A little more water. There we go. So that's starting to move. It's like very transparent, or it's very opaque. This color is extremely opaque. Okay. I shall let that dry. Yep, should have let that dry. So this is what I'm talking about. This is me messing up here. Actually gonna wipe that down a little bit. back in. That's a bit better. I don't want to go too much that way. There's not a lot. It's spreading still a bit much. So this is kind of making it look like it's in the background. I want that to be straight. Horizon's got to be straight. Okay. I'm looking for a bit of a sharp. I'm looking for something a little sharper on the mountain. Look, it's the water's still kind of going in there. I wonder if I damaged it somehow when I was. Just gonna let it do its thing. It's gonna mix a little. You can see here that I got a little cauliflower. I don't know what this is supposed to do, but so the problem here is it really looks like I messed up right there. So can this be fixed? Just kind of gonna make it. Just gonna create cauliflower, I bet, 100%. A lot of cauliflower. It's bad. It's bad. I think I messed it up. Alright, I'm gonna blow dry this, see what can happen. Okay. Dang. I really kind of messed it up here. Does it even look trippy? Psychedelic? what does this look like? I'm gonna have to back up and take a look at this picture from far away. Up close, it looks like a disaster. Okay, from far away, it looks okay. I wonder how bad it looks for you all. Not too bad. Okay, so is this salvageable? Take a break real quick. I need to think. Okay. So I messed up. I'm a noob at watercolor. I don't know what I'm doing. I could have stopped it earlier and it would have looked okay. It wasn't really that good of a painting. But I kept going and made some mistakes. And now I'm in a loop where I'm going to try to cover up those mistakes and see if I can still salvage this painting. So I think the mistakes are great opportunities to learn and innovate. And I most likely don't have the skills to fix this up, so good chance that this is going to turn into a serious disaster. But that's why this is called How to Paint Bad and Do Other Things Bad also. Or is it Do Other Things Bad too? It's one of those. But I'm going to treat this mistake as a chance to learn and see if I can cover this up somehow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start painting wet on dry. And I think that's going to make the paint a lot more opaque. And I kind of want to create sort of some kind of vortex. Like I want this to look like there's a vortex here. Like you're getting sucked into it. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna use this round brush number 20. Okay. I'm gonna get some of this ochre here. Okay. That's looking okay. What is going on here? So when I mix it with this blue here, kind of get a gray. I'm not sure if that's quite what I'm looking for, but just put it in here to add a little variation. Okay. Can these mountains look better? These mountains, they kind of go through here. So I'm just going to show little dots of that mountain. Like it's going through the trees. Okay. So now we got a big mountain. I kind of want this to be soft. So I'm just kind of scraping and lifting to see if I can get some kind of textures here. I'm just adding some of the color around. So it looks so it looks like it continues. From far away, maybe it'll work. Okay. So the edge is kind of soft here, which makes it seem like it's in the distance, though it is a bit close, in my opinion. Let's add a little bit of highlights to the mountains. Put out a little there. Okay, very strange mountain. I can tell you that. It's a strange looking mountain. That swipe was pretty good. Okay, well, so I got these little colors here that might imply mountain. It's all kind of weird. Okay. I would have been better without this. Oh man. That was weird looking. I mean, it's oh, I guess you can interpret it whatever way you want, but maybe I can turn these into clouds if I wet them. But it seems like if I have wet to dry, if I wet this area, paint on it, and that paint moves towards the dry area, it creates some kind of cauliflower. And that's what I was trying to hide here. I don't really notice the cauliflower too much. I think I diverted away from that. But what can I do to the sky? Okay, I'm still going to try some wet on dry. Use the hake. I'm going to dry the hake off a little so it's not too wet. I'm going to grab some blue. And we're going to kind of See, even this blue is so wet that it starts cauliflowering. And add some implications here. You know, there's sky behind this. Let's move it down. Okay, what does this do? Some implications. So I don't want it to look like we're just going around the tree. I want it to look like the sky goes behind the tree. Okay, let's get a little more of that. Here goes the cobalt blue. Mixed in a little with this. And then let's grab just a tab of Payne's gray because the color is so, it is pretty strong. So you can see I'm not really caring too much about what's getting mixed in here. There's a little bit of blue, some Payne's gray, you know. And some of this color is going to define the mountains. Kind of just putting it all over. Okay. So now I do wish that I had more of a yellow. I don't have a bright yellow right now. I do kind of have this, and I'm hoping that that'll soften things up a little. I really want it, you know, down here. I'm hoping that this disperses. Yeah, and I want kind of this motion. It's all kind of coming from here. Oh, whatever's going on, it's going crazy. And it's especially bright. It's especially bright near this. Okay. Just gonna go for my trusty rag here. Let's see what we can create. Oh. Okay, maybe it's overdone a little bit. Okay, I'm going to dry this off and we'll take a look at it when it dries. Okay, so it's looking somewhat okay. I kind of feel like I'm standing here and off in the distance, you know, maybe some small hills. We got this mountain. The sky is looking a little crazy, almost like there's a sunset. I kind of wish I had some more of that. I think it's yellow ochre over here. Things seem a little unbalanced, but it would be really cool if I could make it almost seem like this was all moving closer to the viewer. You know, this is far away, and as we move up, you know, it'd be cool if there was like clouds or something. Like something's not working with my strategy, where I'll lay down the color, I'll lay down the blue, and then I'll take a towel and try to lift it out to create clouds. That doesn't seem to work really well. I think I need to use a different technique in the future. But, okay, let's go ahead and work on this new wash. So I'm going to wet everything. Everything's getting wet. But I'm going to do it all with one brush. Oof. Yeah, things are starting to move. It's probably not the best idea. Okay. I'll lift that hair, and we got another hair there. Okay. I removed my hairs. Okay, friends. So I got this wet again. I don't want it to be too wet. Because I don't want the color to really dissipate too much. But I also don't want it to be just like barely damp, because then it'll create that cauliflower. Wetting again, I noticed like some of my greens started moving up. Maybe that was paint that dried on top of the paper. So we're wet, and I'm going to make this quite a bit darker, actually. So I'm grabbing the Payne's. This Payne's gray. And we're really going to start darkening up here. This is more towards us. I'm going to try to use kind of a sort of a technique, because I want this to it to kind of look like we got clouds. It's going to be hard to make this look like we have clouds, though. That's the problem here. I want this to run off. I want it to be really dark up here. Let's grab a little more Payne's. That's just for a little texture. Explosion. Whoops, that was a bit much. Okay. Well, the explosion looked cool for a second, but then it kind of mellowed out there. Okay. Cool. Whoops, I went in front of the mountain, which I did not really want here. But it's fine. I'm trying that technique that I said I didn't like. Okay. And the water, I mean, the paper's getting pretty damp now, so I'm a little worried that we're going to end up with some cauliflower effect. I'm going to stop the video real quick and do a little drying. And this Payne's gray really lightens up, so let's see what happens. Okay, well, this video has to end sometime, but it's not going to end now. Like, no matter what, I think I'm going to have to give up on this painting soon, because who's going to watch a video that's this long? You got to be crazy. I'm telling you, this is probably the most boring thing in the world. Alright, so I'm going in again with the Paynes. This time I'm going dry. I'm going wet on dry. But I'm tapping the brush because I don't want that much liquid in there. Okay. Yeah, so not a lot of liquid. This is what we're going in with. Okay, so then I need something lighter. Make this lighter, so I'm adding more water. Okay.
Do you have the documentation for the river lake yet?
More water.
Okay, because I think that might be all documented. I don't think
Okay, is this really gonna mess it up? I forgot how this messed things up before. I created all this weird cauliflower. guess some of this gray in here to imply. I'm actually gonna throw this in because I don't want the cauliflower. So I'm kind of just using this transparency here to blue and everything up. Okay. Now we got some weirdness kind of everywhere. It's darker up top, which is what I was looking for. Does that do it? I tried picking up one hair and just got another. Oh no! Oh no! It's just a thing now. Oh, that is just a thing. Okay. It's a little splash. Okay, so I'm gonna dry this out and we'll see what kind of mess is created. Oh shit, I got some watercolor on my pants. I hope that doesn't stain. All right, so it's dried, and I mean, it is kind of trashy looking, at least to me. There is a chance that it might look good to you. Sometimes things look bad to me and good to other people. But I put that layer of Payne's gray over it, and it kind of like almost adds like a fog and I guess it desaturates everything, and it also seems like it lowered the contrast because you can barely see the mountains here in the distance. So I think final touches are going to be, I'm just gonna, yeah, this is hard. I'm gonna add some more leaves to these trees up close. And then I'm gonna call it good because this video is getting long. And I'm going to use kind of very little water, mostly paint. So I'm going to grab this, and I do want to keep some of that, I want to keep this Payne's gray in it. Oh, there's these, there's a lot of little hairs in that paint that I want to pull out. Okay, yeah, so, you know, one of my friends just had a baby. It's this little demon child, the nameless one. They haven't figured out a name yet, so it was born without a name. You know, I imagine her as the bringer of Satan's little helper. I think that's the proper word. It's like Satan's child on earth. That's what I'm imagining here. But my friend, his phone died the day that the baby was born, and he's reaching out to me right now. So I'm in the middle of texting him a little bit, trying to catch him up on the details. But we're all just happy that baby was born. You know, it looks like a human being, and all that. Okay. Let's grab a little Payne's Gray because that Payne's Gray is strong. Okay, I really want to just smash up this brush here. Okay, just a little and of course the grasses. Little grasses. This isn't looking very good. You know, but this is called How to Paint Bad, so some shadow. I want some shadows in this. You know, I don't want everything to just bring in those shadows. Just gonna brush it in there. I hope this isn't gonna look too bad. More Payne's Gray. And I think we need shadows under these trees here. Okay, just a little shadow there. Shadow there. Shadow there. Okay. And I'm just kind of mixing different colors together to get different values. Okay, and then really dark. Let's get pretty dark. For this, I think I'm going to try to get some ochre. I think this is an ochre of some kind. It should desaturate the color, gray it up. So let's add that. Man, I kind of wanted to... They looked like better trees before, I think. Now they're just kind of... Oh, now they're just kind of there. And then this is like... not great. I think I want more blue. Give me more blue. This tree to be kind of distinguished. Okay. Bring some more of that blue. Just gonna rub it in there. Okay. Because I think that is That is it. That's all I can do. Messed it up, but okay, I'm gonna dry this off, and then I'll show you what it looks like after it's dried. It's a mess. There are probably several times I could have stopped, and it would have been okay, like an okay painting, but I kept going, and I overworked it, but it's fine because I want to make mistakes, try to cover them up, and keep going. I feel like the more mistakes that I can make, the more I'll learn. So let's see what happens with this new paint. I'll be back. All right, my friends, there it is. This is finished. I have to stop somewhere. I can't keep going and overworking it to death and keep you on here for 3-4 hours. I applaud anyone that made it through this torturous event. So, what I would like you to do is tell me what you guys think. What you think I could have done better, because I want this to be a learning opportunity. And I'm going to keep doing these videos. I'm going to post one a week. I won't be doing all my painting on video, because I do like to paint without people watching and without feeling like I need to talk. But I'm trying to do about one a day. You guys will see one a week. Tell me what you think. The show is called How to Paint Bad and How to Do Other Things Bad Too. So, ask me any question, any advice you want, and I will give the worst advice possible. Like, I will try my best to make it horrible advice, and I'll put it on the show next time I paint, assuming anyone comments. And that'll just be a thing. Every show I want to give horrible advice to people. And you got to remember that this is fake advice. It's not real advice, and it's meant to be funny, not serious. So don't take my advice. All right? So this is episode 1, and I will see you guys next week.